Hello again, beautiful people. Happy New Year! It is officially 2022, which means that I am officially done with my Hobonichi cousin. If you are new here, I did attempt to journal in a Hobonichi cousin for 2021, and my final thoughts are not a fan. It just does not work for me and my particular journaling style. For me, I like to be able to put as much ephemera as I want on the page without having to worry about making everything fit. So yeah, I'm really happy to be saying goodbye to this and moving on into my new journal. So if you have been, or if you are a subscriber of mine and you've been following my channel for a while, you will have only seen my journaling style for the Hobonichi cousin and not so much how I journal when I'm not constricted. So I have an older journal here because I am going to set up my journal following or not necessarily following, but like doing all the things that I like in my journal for setup and just like day-to-day stuff. So this is volume 5. Prior to the Hobonichi cousin, I used to do just a lot more. I would use a lot more like mixed media stuff. I watercolored, I painted, I stamped, I used all of the things back when I didn't have to worry about making it all fit. And it also gave me the freedom to like do journaling prompts in my journal, in my actual journal, put as much tip-ins as I wanted, do fun cutouts. See, I couldn't do this in a Hobonichi cousin because it would cut off almost 1/4 of the page for 2 days. So, but yeah, I used to have so much fun and I just kind of missed it. So I'm really excited to be going back to this style of journaling. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So I have been journaling for, I want to say, when did I start? 2013, I want to say. Ugh, I don't even know. Anyway, so I've been on the search for the ideal notebook and I found it, and it's kind of sad because I think it's going to be discontinued, but I really get this out of the wrapper, enjoy Taroko Breeze notebooks. Well, just Taroko design notebooks in general. So they use Tomoe River paper, but it's 68 GSM, so it is thicker than the regular Hobonichi paper, which I believe is 58 GSM, so it's thicker, but it has that beautiful like silky feel without feeling delicate. That is what this is here, the smaller one. They also make the Enigma, which is like the really chunky version. So I have used the chunky version, but it gets really big. So I think I'm just going to use the smaller one for now. I did buy a few of these, so I should be stocked for the next like 3 years or so for journals, because I do go through one every 6 months, possibly more depending, or possibly less. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and set this up. So a couple of things that I normally do, or I would do in my journals. First, I would use a piece of vellum and then put the date that I started, or the year that I started the notebook. This one is for 2020. I think I did it here too. Yeah, so 2018. I like to use the same numbers. These are from Courtney Diaz-Little Raven ink. I don't remember what year she did them, but I love them and I would use them in my journals just to signify the year in the front. So I have vellum, the big date, I set up the monthly pages this way. So I already printed out Courtney Diaz's collage sheet for, the monthly sheet for January. And then the last few pages I always dedicate to fountain pen swatches, fountain pen scribbles, and then a page for washi scraps. So that is what I am going to set up today. I have all of my goodies. I have my notebook. I have a bunch of background pages that I'm like not sure, I haven't committed to anyone. So it's like scrapbook paper, magazine cutouts. This is by Bun, which I love those little bananas. Magazine cutouts. This is from the Diane Reevely collage sheet book, I think. One of the older ones. I have a lot from Flow magazine, Flow Paper Lovers. I'm a real big fan of anything that Flow comes out with. So I have those. I also have a stack of potential vellum sheets. I got this here in Germany, so I'm sorry for those of you in the US. I don't know. I don't think, actually I'm certain you wouldn't be able to find these exactly over there. But I'm leaning towards the bananas. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna see where today takes me. And then what else? I also pulled out one of my die cut books from Art by Marlene. I recently heard about her and I really like her like quirky style. So I will probably, actually more than likely, recreate this little cat mermaid thing. Let's see. Oh, I also some Erin Ware labels and some of my art doll printables. I was debating putting an art doll on the front, since those have been something I've been like really drawn to this year. I figured why not. And last but not least, I have all of the smaller pieces of things that I have been collecting this month just to get it ready, so that way I don't have to be rifling through stuff to cover this. All right, so enough rambling from me. I'm probably going to hear voiceover Crystal from here on out, because this process typically takes me about an hour or so to do, and nobody wants to watch real-time Crystal mess around for an hour and try to figure stuff out. But yeah, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and during the voiceover I will more than likely tell you where I have been and what my plans and goals are for 2022. So let's get started. All right, so where have I been? So a couple of months ago, I guess around the time where I stopped posting videos on YouTube, I started noticing a glitch that was happening on my MacBook. It was like something wrong with the screen, so it started leaving after images of whenever I scrolled or opened up a new window. So it made it very, very difficult to do anything on my laptop, really. So I took it in to get fixed, and around that time, I actually got tickets to head back home to Texas for my birthday. My birth month is October, so I was actually able to spend almost 3 months back in the States. So yeah, so I debated making videos while I was at my parents' house, but I wanted to just enjoy my time with family. I mention it far too many times on this channel, I think, but I do live overseas, so I am only able to see my family once every year, and then with everything that's happened in 2020 with COVID and all the restrictions, I hadn't actually seen my family in almost 2 years. So, yeah, I just wanted to take that time to just enjoy being back and readjust and kind of just see all of the changes that have happened in the States. I have definitely missed quite a few things. Of course, one of the first few stores or few places I wanted to go to, aside from my parents' house, was to hit up all of the craft stores. If you live in Germany, you know that it's very difficult to find crafting supplies, at least in comparison to the States. Like in the States, I feel like we have crafting stores in abundance. Like you'll find them everywhere. So I was missing Michael's and Hobby Lobby and Joann's, and I missed Starbucks. I mean, there are Starbucks here, but the only one that I have close to me is the one on base. And I mean, that's great and all. I appreciate the fact that we have that option. It's just it's always really busy and stuff, so yeah. Um and Target. Oh man, I miss Target so much. Although I was really sad to see that Target does not have, or did not when I was home, did not really have a lot of stationery options in their dollar spot. I remember I used to go there all the time and stock up on dollar notepads and sticky notes that weren't that sticky and that needed extra tape to glue down, but were cute nonetheless. And I feel like I didn't find any. And stamps. I used to get a whole bunch of like the like wooden alpha stamps that they have in the dollar spot usually. But yeah, none of that was there, unfortunately. But I did stock up on a lot of things. I bought a bunch of, you might laugh, but I bought a bunch of cheap acrylic paint. That's something I've had a hard time finding here. So I bought a whole bunch of cheap acrylic paint because I've been wanting to get back into creating my own collage fodder. So I've noticed that my journal, I tend to rely heavily on other creators and other artists for images to put in my journal. I use a lot of Courtney Diaz, Little Raven ink. I rave about her all the time. She is the sweetest person and just so insanely talented. So I use a lot of her stuff. My journaling style is heavily influenced by her, and early Allie Brown, when she would do like the watercolor plops. And she still does, but I feel like she does more of a subdued tone now. Like it's not as vibrant. And like Pocket Journal Pam. So like who is also like I've been following Pam for a while on her YouTube days, and unfortunately I missed out the first time around when she did Patreon. But I've watched her style grow as well. And it's just really a joy to see. But I use all of her stuff too in my journals. And as a matter of fact, that butterfly there that says personal thoughts is from one of her collage sheet images from her Patreon. But yeah, I just kind of realized that I rely a lot on other creators, and I think it kind of comes with that whole, I guess like imposter syndrome almost, where I don't really feel like I know what I'm doing sometimes when I'm journaling, which it shouldn't feel that way, but I feel very self-conscious a lot of times, and I doubt my own creative ability when it comes to creating stuff to put in my journal. So for this year, one of my personal goals is just to create more of my own stuff to put in my journals, whether it be doodles or backgrounds. I started, I don't want to say collecting, it's more like hoarding a bunch of vintage books and just random encyclopedias and dictionaries and things that I have found at thrift stores. And I've started using some of those to kind of play with acrylic paint. And if you watched my, what was it, the 2021 what I used in 2021 and my plans for 2022, you'll have noticed that in my new planner, the Planner Perfect method, the Americano one, two of the inserts kind of have like this really cool, like vibrant backgrounds on them. Those are printed papers that I made myself. So I guess one of my personal goals for this year is just to create more like of my own stuff. So I bought a bunch of acrylic paints that I could do more like jelly prints, because I feel like that is jelly prints and just playing with acrylic paint and splatters is one of the easiest ways to just create. It's very stress-free, it's intended to be messy. Each one's gonna come out different. Like, you'll never be able to recreate exactly what you had the first time around. And I really like that idea, so bought acrylic paint so I could do a lot more of that for my journal. I also bought a few sticker sheets, mainly the monthly sticker sheets from Hobby Lobby. My goal was to use them or my plan, I should say, was to use them in my Hobonichi weeks, which I did. And I still have, I bought a whole bunch so that I could use for later planners or journals. I bought one sticker book, which I'm proud of, just one. There were others. I probably should have got them, but I didn't. So one sticker book and a couple rolls of washi, but not really a lot. So I think, when I first started with creative journaling, there was just that rush of buying washi and getting new things. And it was great because all of these designs at Michael's and Hobby Lobby were new to me. So I bought all the ones that I liked. And now I've kind of found that Hobby Lobby and Michael's don't really come up with new washi tape designs that often. So there was washi available, just not any that I didn't already own or didn't already own similar designs of. My husband and my best friends actually laughed because when I flew into Texas, I only had the one suitcase checked in and my carry-on, and then like my backpack is like my personal item for the plane. And my suitcase was like fairly empty, and I thought, like, you know what, this is gonna be fine. I'm gonna fit everything. And by the end of my almost 3-month visit, I needed to get an additional suitcase to fit all of my stuff because it wasn't all craft supplies. I did buy a bunch of clothes. I am a shorter, voluptuous lady, curvy lady, and here in Germany, or in Europe in general, a lot of the clothing style and the fit is more for tall, slender people, and that's not me. So it's hard for me to find clothes here. So when I was back in the States, I took advantage. I bought a bunch of clothes as well. So yeah, my friend and my husband all joked and laughed at my expense at the fact that I needed an extra suitcase on top of a box that I mailed back to myself over here in Germany. Yeah. But the way I saw it was like I had a whole year without buying anything, so I could do it in my mind. But yeah, so that was where I've been. So that's kind of why my posting schedule is all over the place. I haven't really been able to post consistently. So my other goal for 2022 in terms of my YouTube channel is to give you all a new video every Wednesday. Originally I was like 2 videos a week. I can do this. I have plenty of time. It's possible. And so when I first started my channel, I was pumping out videos like 2-3 times a week, no problem. But the more I did that, the more of a toll it kind of took on me. It became more of a job as opposed to a hobby and something I did for fun. And then I just felt, sometimes life gets in the way and I would feel guilty for not posting. And, you know, it just triggered a lot of anxiety and it just stopped being fun for a little while. And I don't ever want that to be the case because I know, for me at least, when I first started journaling, watching the content that creators put out on YouTube really helped shape my journaling style. It helped inspire me. It got me feeling those creative juices to start journaling and playing with all of the things. And I know I get so much joy and happiness from watching other people. And I wanted to give that to people, or I wanted to give that in return to others and kind of just share that. So, yeah, I'm going to limit myself to just the one video a week on Wednesdays. On those rare weeks where I have a secondary video, those will go up on Saturday. I do have a new filming schedule, so I'm hoping that I can stick to it for this year. Fingers crossed. And that extra additional video on Saturday will either be because I wanted to film a planner video, because this year I am trying the Planner Perfect method. Right now, update, I'm a week and a half in, and yeah, it's totally working for me. I'm insanely more productive than I have ever been in the last year or so, especially with all of the transitioning from living in the States to living overseas and going from being able to see people to having to quarantine and keep your distance from people. It's just been a lot of changes in my life and it's really impacted just my day-to-day routines. So this Planning Perfect method that I've been doing, it's just like a game changer for me. So if I do a bonus video, it'll probably be a video where I'm like talking more about what the Planner Perfect method is, playing in my planner. It could be, I have a what's in my bag video coming up. I'm just waiting for my new bag to come in so I can swap my things over and do a little chat with you all. So yeah, the bonus videos won't really necessarily be journaling content. It'll be more of, I guess, my day-to-day life stuff. Not so much a vlog because I don't 100%, I don't know if I'm at that level yet. I prefer voiceovers where I can just go back and redo certain takes if I don't like the audio. And you can't really do that in a vlog necessarily. I guess you can, but yeah, no, vlogs are a little, maybe in the future, just not now. But that's that's my plan for 2022. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I know it's it can be some kind of disheartening sometimes when you like someone's videos and then they stop posting. So yeah, thanks for sticking with me. Life happens. I try to keep it real with you guys. So I'm looking forward to this year, 2022. But all right, so enough about that. Real quick, this setup here, this is my journal. I wanted to try the photo a day this year. I did like that in my Hobonichi cousin, so I'm going to try and see if it works better if I have it all in one book like this instead of having like a separate insert for it, which originally was something I was thinking of. So yeah, so I'm going to test it out this month. That was a stencil from Kathiespouches on Etsy. I will link her down below. But yeah, I guess that's it, guys. Coming towards the end of my video. Thank you guys so much for watching and sticking around. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. You all have a good one. Bye.